Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, and today I'm going to be telling you a personal story of mine. And it's a bit of a tragic story, but I've healed from it and I want to share that with you guys. So I moved to Korea to become a English teacher, and I went to Korea when it was 2010. It was really hard for me to find a job that I enjoyed. I quit my job and didn't find another job. It was like 6 months, I think, and I found two roommates to help cover the rent. And it was hard to cover rent, even though I had two other roommates and I wasn't making an income. I was surviving on credit cards and paying the minimum with the credit card checks. So you can see the vicious cycle of not having any money, going deeper into debt. And my mom was like, why don't you go to Korea and teach English? And I was like, I don't know. She's like, look, you should check it out. Your cousin lives there and she could probably hook you up with the teaching job. She works as a counselor at the English Academy after school. So I went through the whole process of sending my information and details of GPA for my university graduation and diploma and background check, everything like that. And I went to Korea, and to be honest, it was a great experience. The first school, I wasn't able to actually explain or talk in Korean. I had to pretend I didn't understand the kids. I could only speak English. But the second school, I taught at a different location near Gangnam, and I was able to speak English and Korean, but obviously I taught in English and I was able to speak Korean. I knew what they said and they were cool with it. So anyway, so my mom visited me in 2011 and she was like, you have a bulge on your neck. I'm like, what do you mean? Oh, I just have a fatty neck. It's like, no, see, your left side is just normal, but your right side, it had a bulge. And she's like, you should get that checked out and at the doctor's. And the great thing is, when I was living in California, health insurance, even if your company covers it, there's a copay and a deductible. But in Korea, it is much more affordable. I mean, I would go to the doctor and seeing the doctor was very cheap. I can't recall, it was just like several dollars, you could say. And medication is cheap and easy to get. It was just a great experience as far as that end goes. So I was wondering what I should do. And I mean, I didn't really know anybody there. I mean, I did have family there, but I didn't want to bother them. So I kind of took care of it myself. And one of my coworkers, she's Korean. She was like, well, my dad's a doctor, and why don't you go to the hospital he works at? So he referred me to his friend. And the doctor basically, they did a biopsy to make sure it wasn't cancerous, and then they drained it, right? It was about this big, and it was like bulging out. And they removed it. It was not cancerous. But the thing is, the fluid kept coming back. So they're like, you're going to have to get it removed. And they did the CT scan and everything. So I was like, okay. So, surgery, even though it's a common surgery, they had to actually remove the right side of my thyroid. So if you don't know, thyroid, everybody usually has one unless you get it removed. And the mass was like a cyst. Cyst is it's like a fluid filled bulge right here. So they had to remove it because it kept getting filled up. It was a common surgery. Shouldn't really become a problem, even though surgeries all can be risky. So I just felt confident that it would just be fine. I wasn't really scared or worried. I was like, it's a common thing. So come forward, I take time off work to get the surgery done. And when I woke up, I was informed that unfortunately there was a tragic accident. And it was really devastating news for not only myself but my family. And basically what happened was when he was removing the right side of my thyroid, which thyroids control your hormones, it can control metabolism. I mean, you need it to survive in life. He cut the nerve. And what happened was he cut the nerve, and when he severed the nerve, my vocal cord was paralyzed. And paralyzed means it doesn't move. So if you think of a vocal cord, right? When you breathe, it opens, and as you talk, it closes. So it closes when you talk, and when you breathe, it opens. But my right side got paralyzed since he cut it, the doctor. So instead of it closing like this, the right side now doesn't close. So if you can see, I'm showing upwards. If this right side doesn't move, it's only moving like this. So it's basically not touching each other. It's going like this. So I was thinking like 5 million things. Like, my parents were back in California, and I mean, I thought, great, now I can't talk. I'm going to be mute. Who's going to marry me? Where am I going to ever get a job? What am I going to do to support myself? I mean, I just cried a lot that day. My world ended. But I prayed to God. I'm a Christian, so I prayed and I just asked to be comforted. And the next day I just woke up and I had hope. I didn't know what was going to happen, but I was going to be okay. So basically in Korea at the time, if you want to sue, it takes several years. And I'm a foreigner because I'm from the US. I mean, the process might be different. Who knows? And it's hard to win the case. It's not like the US in suing. So basically we decided to get the following upkeep of the treatments free and the surgery free. And going to the vocal cord coach and working on my breathing was how it started to get better. Like, I was getting some sound in my voice. And when I went to work, they provided me a microphone so I can talk to my students without straining my voice, because I didn't have much strength in my voice. And I used to love to sing. I mean, I really love to sing. And I used to be in the worship band in high school. I just love to sing. I used to go karaoke with my friends. I just love to sing. Mariah Carey, Celine Dion, Whitney Houston. I mean, I just love singing. And I wasn't sure if I would ever get back to how it used to be honest. But by the grace of God, what is now happening is, as you can see, like the vocal cord, right? The right is paralyzed, so it doesn't move. So instead of going like this, it's supposed to go like this. But what is happening for me is the left side will overcompensate and reach the right. So instead of doing this, it goes like this and overreaches, right? I mean, I'm so thankful. As you can see, you can hear me fine. I speak fine. I do have a scar right here. Unfortunately, the redness hasn't gone away. It used to be very bumpy right here, the scar. It's flat now, but it's still red. And they said, it was going to fade, but my skin is just I don't know if it's sensitive, but it didn't fade. A doctor here, like last year, was like, I don't know why they didn't go underneath your neck so they could, it's not as visible and it could heal better. I don't know. Maybe back then, this was like almost 15 years ago or something. I don't know. Wait, 2010. Yeah. So, 12 years ago. So basically, my voice now, if I talk too much, my voice will get tired. You know how if you like scream a lot and sing a lot, like your voice gets strained and tired? Like before you lose your voice, you have to kind of push your voice to like get sound out. I don't know if you know what I'm talking about, but basically it strains. So today I've been hanging out with my friend and I talked a lot, and so filming this, my voice is getting tired. It is straining and I'm pushing out my voice. But, if I just rest it, it'll be fine. And I've never had an issue. So that's pretty much my story. I am very thankful that I'm able to work. I can speak. My throat doesn't hurt. I do have this scar. When I first had this scar, it was really red and bumpy. I was kind of like, embarrassed about it, but now I don't even notice I have it. I never even see it. When I did get married, I did put makeup on it for picture purposes. I did want the scar covered. And sometimes I think maybe I should, get the skin tattoo where they tattoo the redness and match it with your skin so that the color is gone. I've thought about that. If you do that procedure, obviously you have to go to someone who can match your color, really well, and you're supposed to keep it protected with sunscreen and stuff so that the colors don't change in the sun. But I mean, I don't know if I would change things. Maybe I should have done more research. I was in my 20s and I didn't really go to several doctors. I just went with, my friend's dad is a doctor and he said this guy is really good, so and I just took his word for it, and mistakes happen, he's still human. The doctor who performed my surgery, he's human, there's errors happen. So my mom was like, why didn't you ask your uncle who lives in Korea and have him find you a doctor that's capable? I mean, there's so many things we could have possibly changed, but the way, I guess, the cyst was wrapped around from what the doctor who did my surgery told me, the way it was wrapped or close or connected to the nerve, it just happened like that. And supposedly, like, my friend's dad, who's a doctor, said, like, he personally made sure that he was going to do, be careful because, it's my daughter's friend. But, I'm not going to go back and be like, oh, I wish this, I wish that. I'm blessed. My voice works. I can speak fine. If it gets tired, I just rest it. I can live a normal life. And there's a lot of women and men who suffer from having issues with the thyroid. I personally have hypothyroidism. Hypothyroidism causes issues like constipation or hair loss or fatigue. And honestly, I do have issues with some of those things, and I do take medication because I have to, because I have a missing part of my thyroid. I do need the medication to live. If I don't, it could be really bad, like death. So I do take it, but the pill is like micro. And when I mean micro, I mean my little sister makes fun of it like it's like a baby pill. It really is like a third of a Tic Tac size. And Tic Tacs, they're like little thing, and it's like a third of that. I mean, it's just every morning I take it. If you skip a day, sorry for the siren, it happens all the time. If I skip a day, I could just double up my dose the following day. And in the beginning, when you do get diagnosed, they don't know sometimes what the level of medication you need. So you do have to go for like blood work at the labs, get your blood drawn to see your thyroid level, and they will dose it right. Like if it's too low or if it's too high, they'll adjust the medication. But it's not one of those things where here's take a pill. Everybody's levels are different and reacts different, so they do need to gauge that. And if you do have thyroid issues and you do have to get on medication, it's really important to ask your doctor that you want the optimal number, because it goes from like 0.5 to, I don't know, 2.15, I forget. But the normal range is kind of wide. So optimal level is, you got to research. For me, I don't like being 2 point something. I prefer more closer to 0.5. But if it's too high, then you could become hypothyroidism. No, sorry, hyperthyroidism. So hypothyroidism is when it's slow. Hyperthyroidism is basically your heart can beat fast and your eyes can bulge out. I mean, so you got to find that right balance. So always follow up with your doctors and continue to get your yearly checkups, because I can assure you, with my family side, my mom's side, a lot of tragedy and early deaths have occurred, and with cancer. And if they got yearly checkups or with the doctor more, who knows if maybe they could be alive today. Including my mom, she had blood cancer, which is leukemia, and she is in remission and she's doing great. So I'm thankful, I'm blessed. I have the medication I need. I can talk. I'm happy. I'm healthy. So thank you for listening to my story. I appreciate you coming to watch, and please subscribe if you haven't already. I would love to have my channel grow, and I do other types of content. So please like, subscribe, share, comment. And if you haven't noticed, I have stepped up the game. I have a ring light now, so my video quality as far as being at home is a lot better. So my makeup tutorials will be a lot better. So thank you so much. See you guys later. Bye.